Welcome to the regular city council meeting for Thursday, March the 20th, 2014. The meeting is now called to order. We're going to start with the pledge and the prayer, and then I will deliver the State of the City address, and then we'll return to the regular agenda. Everybody stand, please. Prayer.
Y'all would stand and bow your heads and move the caps. We have one on. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for bringing us together this evening, and we pray that you'll be with us this evening. Help us to make decisions based on the guidance that you've given us to do unto others as we would do unto them. As we approach Easter, Lord, we thank you most of all for your Son, Jesus Christ, who died and rose again to forgive us of our sins and give us a promise of everlasting life. Be with us this evening. Help us and guide us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome citizens of Bryant, staff, department heads, and city council to the 2014 State of the City Address. The state of the greatest city in the center of the greatest state is strong. Bryant is fiscally strong. Our growth rate remains steady, following the same trend as it has for the past decade. Despite the recession our nation has recently experienced, Bryant's population and economic growth continues to flourish. This growth comes with a great responsibility to respect our past and embrace the future that is coming at us so rapidly. This administration has worked tirelessly with fully committed hearts towards serving Bryant over the past year. Before I share with you the successes and challenges of this past year and the vision for our future, I want to recognize the incredible team of directors I am blessed every day to work beside. Everything we have accomplished and the challenges we have overcome is to the credit of these committed directors that help carry out the vision and mission for the city. Each of them are professionals and experts in their respective field. When I call your name, would you please stand? Chief Mark Kaiser, Chief J.P. Jordan, Code Enforcement Director Greg Hugs, Planning Director Dave Green, IT Director Victoria Washington, Public Works Director Monty Ledbetter, Animal Control Director Tricia Power, Parks Director Derek Phillips, Staff Attorney Chris Madison, Finance Coordinator Esther McCollum, HR Director Sherry Knight. Give these individuals a round of applause. It is an absolute honor and privilege to have these individuals serving our city, and I enjoy each and every one of them and their dedication to the city. When I was handed the gavel in 2011, I set out to do two things: eliminate wasteful government spending at the local level and provide better services to the city of Bryant by redirecting that waste into projects that matter to our citizenry. I call this budgeting for outcomes. Budgeting for outcomes has led to very positive results across every city department. In 2011, we cut, and we cut, and we cut some more. While we were cutting, we improved upon everything we could, from customer service to identifying deficiencies in our operations that we could change into efficiencies, and worked hard to become a true government transformer. 2012, we cut more waste and implemented numerous efficiency measures across every city department. All the while we were planning, engaging the citizens of Bryant through town hall meetings and questionnaires through the water bill and online questionnaires to identify what were the priorities of the citizens. Based on the data we collected, we set a plan in action for 2013 for what I call an epic year in local government. 2013, the year of government transformation at the local level in Bryant. We started and completed more capital improvement projects than ever done in our city's history that I'm aware of. Starting with the AMI meter reading system, along with a complete financial software platform change, combining these two enormous projects together saved the city an estimated $150,000 in implementation fees. As if that wasn't enough, in our eagerness for excellence, we remodeled the dilapidated, outdated, unsecured, deplorable wing of the building that housed our finance department. These three projects combined I would have never attempted if I had known the challenges we would face in implementation. However, now that we are through that, I wouldn't change a thing. Not saying that I would ever do it again, but what didn't kill us did make us stronger. Other significant capital improvement projects that caused much less pain in implementation included the state-of-the-art 911 center upgrade, technology upgrades across every department. One in particular I will mention is the improved technology in planning and code enforcement and permits that make doing business with the city easier for businesses and developers to interact with the city staff and require few trips back and forth to City Hall. This allows our code enforcement officers to operate in the field and do their office work as they're addressing issues. Police acquired more than $2 million in equipment through the federal LESO program for less than $5,000 in cost to the city. The fire department, for just over $1 million, acquired two new pumper trucks, all new air packs and turnouts. I should mention they were also upgraded from an ISO rating from a 3 to a 2. Echo Lake Boulevard is open. Lighting will be coming soon. Sheaf Avenue is under construction and will be completed later this year. Over $500,000 in flood improvement projects were completed in 2013. We received multiple grants in 2013, and I attribute that to our close association and partnership with many different agencies around the state and the country. The Jumpstart Planning Grant we've heard so much about will enable us to cast a vision for what a town center in Bryant could be one day. $1.8 million in intersection improvement funds were awarded to us from MetroPlan recently that will help us implement the plans that are coming out of the Jumpstart Planning. We received $11,000 in trail grant monies, $40,000 for a fishing pier at Bishop Park, $50,000 to complete the second phase of Mills Park Pool that will start after this summer. This will include a new bathhouse and concession stand and fencing. Bryant was selected as one of the 7 cities in Arkansas to participate in the Sustainable Energy Program led by the Applied Sustainability Center at the Sam Walton College of Business with the University of Arkansas. This grant has led other cities such as Fayetteville to realize millions in energy savings to the local government, businesses, and residents. Look for more information on this throughout 2014. We've been recognized statewide with numerous awards this past year. Government Recycler of the Year awarded by Arkansas Recycling Coalition. Officer Scott Johnson received Officer of the Year by the State Chiefs Association, along with numerous other awards for his quick response after being shot in the line of duty. We are happy to report he is fully recovered. Governor's Leadership and Fitness Award for Health and Fitness Club went to the center at Bishop Park. And we received 2 City of Distinction awards, one for technology advancement and the other for Green Conservation Initiative. Tonight, Nathan Rutledge is here to present those awards to the City Council. These are all headline stories for Bryant throughout 2013, but we also have some negative headlines, and I want to address those as well. There was much debate and discussion over travel and training in 2013. This constitutes less than 0.7% of our entire operating budget. There is a perception that if one must travel for training, they must also be vacationing. Most of this training budget was spent on non-discretionary, mandated, required by law training. It is our responsibility to ensure our officers and firefighters are trained and ready to go, while in hopes they never need that training. Some training is for the purpose of lowering our workers' comp claims by improving our safety performance rating, which we have excelled in over the past few years. Discretionary training comes in the form of benchmarking other cities against our own to measure how well we are performing and what we can do better. Municipal meetings to keep up with the changes in law and best practices. And agency meetings that are often how we in fact find out about many of our grant opportunities. The return on investment in our people and for our city far outweighs the upfront cost of training. I can assure you that I oversee all training requests, and each year we weigh the value, the knowledge, and opportunities gained for our city against the cost of the training. At the end of 2013 and until now, you may have heard the sky is falling and the city of Bryant is under poor management and we could possibly be broke. I'm here to tell you none of that is true. We underwent a software platform change, had employees unable or unwilling to stick at it till the end, and as a result, we had a few months without a clear picture of where we stood financially, and that makes us all uncomfortable. Thankfully, we have a great team of directors. They were charged in August as we started the implementation to be conservative, beyond what they were already doing. Absolutely to not spend outside of their budget, and they did just that. I'm proud to announce every single department came in under budget to the sum total of almost $500,000, with the exception of parks. A review of what caused their shortfall in meeting the budget revealed we under-budgeted for some expenses, we overestimated for some of their revenue, and they had some unexpected maintenance issues. A plan is in place to ensure that this does not happen again. The city's cash reserves at the beginning of 2013 were about $11 million, and we ended with a cash reserve of about $9 million. So we're $2 million less in the bank than what we started 2013. Let's talk about the $2 million. We budgeted to use reserves to do many of these capital improvement projects, one-time projects I mentioned a few minutes ago. $1 million in particular was used for streets. This was money set aside from the 2008 street bonds that we're currently paying interest on, and were committed for the purpose of building Sheaf Avenue and Echo Lake Boulevard. So there's half of the $2 million difference. $500,000 was also budgeted in the 2013 general budget for stormwater improvement projects, which we completed. The other $500,000 that makes up the $2 million reduction in reserves was due to a budgeting error. We budgeted to pay a fire and police bond and for fire equipment out of the designated fund, when in fact we should have budgeted for that and paid for it out of the general, based on our ordinance. It was our ordinance, our own ordinance, that we didn't follow, and how that was paid. We caught it, the finance department caught it before the end of the year, so they refunded approximately $550,000 from the general back to the designated, so that was correct on our books for auditors in the future, and it was the right thing to do. However, it hit the general budget for $550,000, but it made a positive impact of $550,000 on the designated. So as you can see, we did choose to use a portion of our reserves last year for worthy projects, and we were also able to do multiple other projects without even tapping our reserves. We could not have completed these meaningful projects if we had not started with the cutting the budget and living within our means in 2011 and 2012. Don't you wish we could get Washington to do this? This is exceptional news and a story many other cities wish they could tell. The sky is not falling. We are just getting a lot done very quickly and efficiently, and for those who like government to operate slowly, this makes them very uncomfortable. Time is money, and if government is wasting time, I can assure you they are wasting money. In summary, that is what we accomplished last year, the challenges we faced, and a snapshot of our fiscal health. So the only question left to ask is, where do we go from here? We must continue to sustain the best public safety department in the state of Arkansas. We are a model city other cities look towards when trying to improve their own cities. We are in the planning phase for 2 new replacement fire stations that were approved for funding by the voters in November. $250,000 in flood improvement projects will be completed in 2014. Ordinances and planning approval processes are now in place to ensure we do not incur additional flooding issues with future development. A growing city must always be planning for the future and the infrastructure that is needed in order to grow smart. We will continue to update the Master Water Wastewater Plan and follow that plan to ensure Bryant continues to have an adequate water source. Sheep Avenue will be completed in 2014. We are working towards acquiring right-of-way to continue that connection from Woodland to Prickett, and have applied for federal funding through the Federal Transportation Department. The state aid program awarded the city of Bryant $250,000 for overlaying and widening Spring Hill Road, so we have that to look forward to. There are plans in the future to connect Echo Lake Boulevard to Hilltop, and the state is planning widening Highway 5 from Reynolds to Spring Hill. Currently, right-of-way acquisition is also underway for the Alcoa Road expansion. Some of these projects are already funded projects, and some are awaiting funding. I committed in 2011 I would seek funding for a safe improvement to 2 of our most overly populated roads, Spring Hill I already mentioned, and Boone Road. The estimated cost to rebuild Boone Road is $10 million. Following numerous public hearings, living room meetings with residents, and city council workshops and meetings, it was agreed if a roadway could be constructed within the existing right-of-way while improving the safety and the drainage issues along Boone Road, then a ballot question would be put forth to the voters to call the 07-08 park bonds, refinance them in order to access $16 million in funding for the purpose of rebuilding Boone Road, and investing the remaining $6 million into our park system for specific capital improvement projects. This issue will have 4 questions on the May primary ballot. If you support a better Boone Road and improving our park system, then it will be a yes vote on all 4 measures. I will be holding a community-wide meeting in the near future to answer more questions regarding this issue. The Bryant Park system continues to improve. Future improvements include Phase 1 of Mills Park Pool being completed before Memorial Day. Isn't that right there? Phase 2 will begin at the end of the summer season. Improved entryways to our parks and beautification projects led by our Parks Committee and Keeping Bryant Beautiful are in the planning stages. There are plans to expand our trail system, continuing to better connect our parks to our neighborhoods and schools. Also, there was a 3 county-wide announcement that the Southwest Rails to Trails project will be pursued with anticipation of the completion in the next decade. This trail will connect downtown Little Rock to downtown Hot Springs, and will likely be a private-public partnership when it comes to funding. This trail will skirt just south of Bryant, but still be an amenity to our city we can look forward to in the future. A new dog park at Alcoa Park has been designed, and the Dog Park Committee is currently working to raise the monies to fund this expansion. How can we get more done? Acknowledge we share a common vision for our city. I would like to ask everyone for a minute to look to the screen and read aloud with me the first paragraph. I'll let everybody get your eyes focused. It's not as large as I thought it would be. Okay, Let's all read it together. The city of Bryant will be a model city,
rated as one of the top smart growth cities in America.
Other cities seeking to be healthy, vibrant communities will choose Bryant to benchmark and model their efforts towards similar results. Now let's read the mission set forth by my administration and ask that you join us in carrying out this mission. The City of Bryant's mission is to embrace smart growth, serve with integrity, create open dialogue with our citizens, and conduct our government business efficiently. Smart growth will meet the needs of our citizens while honoring our past and creating sustainability for our future. Just to list a few of the amazing organizations and programs developed by visionaries in which you can be involved in to make a worthwhile difference in your community is the Chamber of Commerce, Keeping Bryant Beautiful, Women in Networking, Imagination Library, Bee Coalition, Mayor's Youth Advisory Council, Lions Club, Rotary, Bryant Boys and Girls Club, the Bryant Senior Adult Center, our numerous churches and faith-based organizations, community gardens, Bishop Park activities, city festivals, Bonafide for neighborhood improvement, recycling, sports organizations, school city committees, and your local government. There are certainly others, but as you can see, there's plenty of ways to get involved in Bryant. Please visit the city website and fill out the new community assessment and participate in your local government. What gets measured gets managed. And I want to know what you think and how we can do it better. Also, visit the transparency portal located at the bottom of the homepage for updated quarterly reports. We will continue to advance our use of the website and provide you with the information you find important. Thank you for the honor of serving you and serving as your mayor. I'm proud to say much more than what we set out to accomplish a little over 3 years ago will be completed within this year, and I look forward to all that is ahead. I want to recognize a few others who make the cogs of local government move a little faster and a lot more efficiently than what is perceived to be possible in this field. My assistant, Dana Poindexter. Thank you for all that you do. You learned on the fly how to keep up with me at the pace I like to keep, and you're a master at managing my calendar and keeping me where I need to be when I need to be there. I cannot say enough to our city department heads and employees for the jobs they do on a daily basis. To you, I am very grateful, and the city of Bryant is grateful. City Clerk Heather McKim. The city's keeper of the records is instrumental to ensuring our city government is transparent and accessible. I cannot thank you for your soft-spoken advice and your words of wisdom, and your attention to detail. I thank you, City Council, for your lack of patience, your frustration, and your restraint to not kill me. I recognize my robust, aggressive leadership style with a smile gives you trepidation. Our challenges have not discouraged me from serving the citizens of Bryant. My heart of gold for this city has been refined by fire, and as iron sharpens iron, you have sharpened me, and I thank you for that. In the tradition of saving the best for last, I extend my deepest gratitude and all my love to my husband Alan and our 2 beautiful daughters, friends and family for your unwavering support and love. I thank everyone for listening tonight. It is my hope you continue to find me worthy of being your mayor. Thank you and God bless. Anybody else need a drink? Clerk Kim, will you please call the roll?
Chandler,
Here.
Cox,
Here.
Curtis, Brown,
Here.
Henley, Miller,
Here.
Rodell,
Here.
Carpenter.
A quorum has been established. Do I have a motion to approve the February 27th, 2014 regular city council meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to approve the March 4th, 2014 special city council meeting minutes? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Since we have so many people here for presentations, council, you're getting your full packets tonight, and I want to allow time for discussion on that after we go through these presentations. So I'm going to move the financial reports down the agenda at this time. But I will tell you that you have fund balances tonight. I'd like to ask the representatives of the Boys and Girls Club to come forward. We have some of their board members are here tonight, some of their kids, some of their staff. And they're here tonight because this is National Boys and Girls Club Week, and we want to recognize the efforts that these individuals put forth in our community to make such a significant difference for our community. I'm going to issue this proclamation on behalf of the Boys and Girls Club. Whereas the young people of Bryant are tomorrow's leaders, and whereas many such young people need professional youth services to help them reach their full potential, and whereas Boys and Girls Clubs are places where great futures start, they are at the forefront of efforts in academic success, healthy lifestyles, and good character and citizenship. And whereas the Boys and Girls Club organization in our state help ensure that our young people keep off the streets, offering them a safe and supportive place to go, and providing them with quality programs. And whereas the Boys and Girls Club of Bryant, Arkansas will celebrate National Boys and Girls Club Week 2014, along with some multiple clubs and more than 3.9 million young people nationwide. Now therefore, I, Jill Dabbs, Mayor of Bryant, Arkansas, do hereby proclaim March 16th through March 22nd, 2014 as Boys and Girls Club Week in Arkansas, in Bryant, Arkansas. And call on all citizens to join me in recognizing and commending the Bryant Boys and Girls Club for providing comprehensive, effective services to the young people in our communities.
Can't get through there.
There's always obstacles.
Suzanne, how many do you have currently? We average about 2480 and 500 a day.
Amazing.
With a waiting list.
That's amazing.
What's president? Thank you. Board member Alan Stanford. Board member Randy Cox. Staff and kids.
Guys, I really appreciate all the work you do in our community. You are making an immeasurable difference in the lives of people for generations to come. Not just the people that you're impacting, but the children they will have you make an impact on. You'll never be able to measure the impact that you make investing in yourselves and in youth. And I completely support these adults that are around you all the time and know how much they love you and care about you and want great things for you. So thank y'all very much. Hi, and we have Nathan Rutledge here with Cruz and Associates.
Good evening.
You want us to come down? There you go. That's great.
This guy's gonna help.
Where do you want us?
Just right here, you can just tell us about the awards and present them to the city council.
Mayor, council, Nathan Rutledge with First Security and Cruz and Associates, and Scott Dews with First Security, and our company's had the pleasure of being a part of Arkansas Business City of Distinction Awards, and I'm here tonight. I see your two trophies up here to present the city with two framed plaques to go along with that as your City of Distinction Awards. For those of you that don't know, the city has won 2 awards. I know the mayor mentioned it earlier. And with that, Arkansas Business has done a great job. We've been excited to be a partner with them. This is the 3rd year they've done it. And so you're compared with all your peers around the state. Arkansas Business is kind of idea behind it. They do CFO of the Year awards or Business of the Year awards, and they wanted to do something to honor the cities around our state and try to come up with ways to try to point out the good things that you do. Everybody's got a different program. Some cities are moving and some cities aren't. And so they want to recognize those cities that are taking a step forward, creating creative programs, whether it's green initiatives or technology advancement. There's 6 different categories, and you all are a winner of 2 of those for this year for your peers. And not only is it a way for Arkansas business to recognize you, for us to recognize you, and something to receive, but it's also a way for you all to give back. These programs that you do, the things that are going on that are positive in your city, now are published. They're written now. You can hang them on your wall, and other cities, as they look through these, can see what Bryant's doing. They can learn from that. So one of the things that makes it so exciting is that it takes everything from Lakeview, Arkansas, which I was up there on Tuesday night, which is by Bull Shoals and Mountain Home, a very small community, what they're doing with their police department, from what Bryant's doing with what Little Rock's doing, and everybody can flip through there and see those things and see how Bryant stands out. And if you're doing something that they hadn't thought of, they can call you and say, hey, how'd you do that? How'd you get that done? How'd you get the public behind it? And so it's been exciting for us for 3 years, and it's not too often that somebody wins 2 awards, so you're definitely doing something to stand out. So congratulations from Cruz & Associates, First Security Bank, Arkansas Business, 2 City of Distinction Awards for green initiatives and technology advancement.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you, Scott.
You'll slide on the table, stick it.
Thank y'all so much, and I want to echo what Nathan said. At the award ceremony at the Winter Municipal League, when they present these awards and you see all these cities come across the stage and you see the efforts that they're making, there's other cities sitting there in the crowd and they're listening, they're paying attention, and so it doesn't just recognize what we've done, it helps us to help others do better across our state. And as Arkansas Municipal League says, great cities make a great state, and we have a lot of great cities in our state. So we can move on to, okay, let's go back up to financials. That's all the presentations that we have. So let's go back up and get right in order here with the direction we want to go. So we have, you want to pass this out, please? Now, council, we realize that y'all are just getting these. They were literally finalizing and putting these, Esther had all this done yesterday. But she wanted to look at every single number on the beginning and ending fund balances and reconcile everything back before she printed these. So I gave her that leeway to do that. We wanted y'all to have these earlier, it just wasn't possible. This is your final 2013 financials. We kind of walk, I'll point a few things out for you. We do not expect you to take any action on these tonight. I want you to have as much time as you need to feel comfortable with these before you vote on approving them. But if you'll take a look at the first big page there, and if you come down the general fund, to the bottom of the general fund, the first column, you can see that we had a drop in fund balance of $1.1 million. There's a footnote there of a potential adjustment. And I want to commend Esther for finding this. She found a lot of these, and she was able to trace them back and figure out how to correct them and do whatever reconciliation process she needed to do. But she can't find this one. So we're disclosing this on the financial statement. It's $186,000. It doesn't appear to be in the year 2013. Am I correct? It's back further than that. It's an error that's been on our books for quite some time. She's going to continue to look for it. We may or may not find it. it will be something that this is the financial statement that will be published, to the newspaper, and, it's what the auditors will look at. So we're disclosing it to the auditors, and if they can find out where it is. Other mistakes that she found were clerical errors, so we don't suspect any malicious or wrongdoing or anything with this amount of money from the past. It's just not reconciled, and we're disclosing that. So the other fund balances have completely, beginning and end fund balances have been reconciled. Esther has confirmed that they are absolutely accurate. And Chris, do you want to explain, we're not asking you to approve the financials tonight because you need time to look over these.
This is general and streets only, and
This
we
is-
still got
right.
water and
Yeah,
wastewater.
Right, we're still gonna get water and wastewater. Esther, we just stopped talking about general about an hour ago, so we're gonna let Esther take a rest for a day or two, and then she's gonna jump in. But water and wastewater's not gonna be as involved as doing this work, is it?
It should take less time.
It should take less time. That's what I understood you said. So we'll have those to you as soon as possible, but we have focused all of our efforts on this to make sure that this was right, knowing we can come back to water, wastewater and work on that when this is done.
And if I may, the issue that we have is the April 1st deadline for publication. This top sheet is what we need to publish for our general and streets purposes. And what I would be asking is your approval to publish this document, because it is Esther's position that it is accurate and discloses everything that happened in 2013. And that's what we would be asking your permission to publish this document, even with the disclosure. If we have to come, when we figure that out, if we need to republish later in the year, we can do that. But we have that April 1st deadline to present our financial picture on the general and street side. And that's what this document represents.
But you can publish that without council approval, correct?
Normally, when you approve your financials month end, that is a validation or the approval of this financial position. Because the financials have been where they are, and because they haven't been actual approval, they've been presented, there's been some issues with it, to meet the requirements, because the statute requires that the governing body shall publish, or shall cause to be published, a financial statement. Because the financials for the year weren't as clear as you guys wanted, and as clear as anybody wanted, that's what this document represents. So what I'm going to ask for is a vote to say, yes, Esther, you can go forward with publishing this document as a statement of our financial position at the year end of 2013.
But we don't have water and wastewater to add to that yet.
That's correct.
So why don't we just vote on it all at the same time?
Because
It's published.
I'm not sure if water and wastewater will be completed by that time. And our requirement for my reading of the statute is the general and streets. And I would rather us get that done because that information is available. That's what this document represents.
So we don't have to do water.
We can do water, and we will do water, but it's not as pressing as the general and streets because of the tax tied to it. Is the way I'm understanding it.
So the law doesn't require us to do water, that's what I'm asking.
I see it as the requirement is, let me pull the statute out, is the financial condition of the city. And the water, wastewater is separately audited, separately managed. Its finances are kept separate from this. So I read the statute as it does not require it at the same deadline as the general and financial.
Did you check with the fiscal league on that?
I have not.
Okay, I want to make a statement about this particular statement that we have to approve tonight. I've just gotten it. I will not vote for this. I appreciate all the work that's gone into it. If we need to have another meeting before April the 1st, I'll be willing to go for another meeting, but I cannot approve something that I have not looked at. And I do appreciate all the work that's gone into it for the last 5, 6, 7 months. But I cannot vote for something that I'm just receiving tonight with all these figures that I need to approve.
And all the document, and I recognize that. I'm just, I'm in the position of telling you that the statute requires the governing body to cause to be published the financial statement. And the council is the governing body.
So we're not approving the numbers.
You're just saying, this is the numbers that I want you to publish. And
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And if we come back and there's any changes that need to be happen or need to occur, then we can come back and we'll republish if we have to. I've talked with Esther about this repeatedly. We've got bank statements to tie to every one of these accounts. She's confident in these numbers. Now, and that's why we were able to identify the 186 that Mayor Dabbs referred to. In my opinion, and in talking with Esther, I believe she can back this up, this would meet the requirements that we need. And when you do have the opportunity to look through it, you'll see that the information is there. But this will take it off the plate. And if we need to talk about it later, on the rest of the stuff, you can table the financials all you want to. And we can talk about it at FNP or at next council meeting, that's fine. But if you give action, yes, go forth and publish this document, then you have fulfilled your obligations. You publish by April 1st, and then that gives us the authority to go out and publish it, and then we can continue hashing through the numbers.
Mr. Madison, if I might. So if the forensic auditor that's been requested multiple times comes in and figures out what's going on, we'll actually republish these numbers?
That's correct. If we come to find that there's an error in these numbers or something that we published, we would have an obligation to republish.
An obligation?
We would have an obligation, because the purpose of the publication is to give what your financial statement is. And if we come through there and find that there's issues with this, then it would be my recommendation that we republish that statement.
You said obligation, not recommendation. Which one is it?
Well, I don't know if the law would necessarily require it. I would have to look through our contracts for our bond stuff. They may create an obligation on that. My hunch is they probably do. Right now, I don't have a law I can point to, but I'll lean more towards an obligation to republish if we find an error. Then it would be my recommendation also, that if we find an error, we republish it.
When was finance personnel meeting? Last week?
Yeah.
And this report's changed again. So we can't get one report that matches up 2 times in the same row. So how can you ask us to post something we don't even know?
Yes, sir.
The next documents explain what's changed. Your executive summary for general, you'll see I've added 2 columns. One for January through July adjustments. When I went back and looked and was matching to bank balances, I realized that the report that you had before had numbers on it that were incorrect. I have shown you the exact corrections I made. August adjustments are in there also. You'll find now that your actual year-to-date totals tie into the financial statement that you have for December. All your bank statement balances tie in correctly to, with the one adjustment, potential adjustment on here, tie into the financial statement. If you keep on going through it, you'll see I have the summary for street. You'll find each one of the December 31st bank statement showing the ending balance. If that balance doesn't tie directly into the sheet, it gives you an explanation as to if there's outstanding checks or outstanding deposits, so you can see exactly how it ties in together. And I have reprinted and given you the financial statement for December 2013, which reflects the adjustments that I've written down on the sheet and reflects the adjustments that are shown on the executive summary. All numbers have been tied together now, so there will not be any more adjustments.
I have a question. Esther, are you a CPA?
No, sir.
Has any of these numbers been reviewed by a CPA?
No.
So according to this front sheet, it shows that our revenues were 11,870,000, but our expenditures were 12,980,000, so we overspent 1,109,000.
It shows that we spent 1,109,000 over what we brought in, and you'll see that that number is reflected on the financial statement as a change in fund under the general fund.
Okay. And then the streets show now that their balance at the end of the year was 391,705 in this front sheet.
I'm sorry, say again, please.
Their ending balance is 391,705, and that connects over to their executive summary as well.
Where are you looking for? Where are you getting your number from?
Okay,
Under street fund,
Under the summer.
in the very, about the very middle. on
The financial
spreadsheet.
statement?
that is the change, correct.
And that's the change, that's the new.
There's a rounding from one to the next. One says 705, one says 706.
Right, so, but that's where that figure comes
Yes,
from.
ma'am.
Okay.
Any other questions that we can answer at this time?
Well, before this goes down the flames, I might suggest that you table this and schedule another meeting for next week, so we can do this by the deadline. Because you got 3 no votes, just sitting in your chairs.
Okay.
Just
So there's a
my-
motion
just my
to,
thought.
there's a motion to table.
There's-
No public.
Would there be a quorum to have a meet, if that's part of your motion, would there be a quorum?
Spring break.
It's spring break, so the next, unless,
Or the
Y'all can have-
31st?
y'all can meet next week, or you can meet the 31st, which do you prefer? Let's,
I don't know.
If you meet the 31st, you will not have it published by the 1st. I can tell you that. By the time you get a newspaper, get them to publish it, you probably look at 3 hours. Am I wrong?
That's about right, isn't it? Isn't it right, Sarah? Yeah. Because if it's a legal thing, it has to go through the process. It's to be published as legal, right, Chris?
That's correct.
They've got to approve everything.
And Chris will have to find out if we have to publish water and wastewater also, because hasn't asked me this really on it.
So
We're gonna ask him this
I
week.
have my opinion on it, but if you want a second opinion, I can call municipal league.
I'd love to spend spring break with you guys, that's good.
Chris, is there a penalty for not having this published by April 1st?
If you violate the municipal accounting laws, you get notice of it, you have an opportunity to correct. If you don't correct it within the time period, which I think is 60 days, they will withhold half of your state turnback monies, your sales tax revenues. If you don't fix it within the next 60 days, they withhold all of your state turnback monies.
You can't run for JP.
Did you need a second on your motion for a meeting next week?
That was just for discussion, that wasn't my motion. I was just making a discussion point for everybody.
I would like to make a motion to table this and have another meeting.
on what date? On what
I don't
date?
know, you have to ask when everybody can be here, I don't know what their plans are for next week. I have some plans for next week as well.
Y'all do a raise of hands? Okay, there's a motion, then let's discuss the date.
Let's
Is
do the
there a
motion.
second?
Motion
Is there a
second.
second to the motion?
What was the motion?
To have a meeting next week during spring break?
To table these reports and have a special meeting next week.
Would you amend the motion to say meet on the 25th? Because that's, you get pretty close to a drop dead day.
What day is the 25th?
Tuesday.
25th.
Tuesday.
So there's 3. Is there one more that can be at that channel? That's 4.
The 25th on Tuesday, I can be here.
Okay, that's 5.
Will
That's
you
4.
amend your motion?
Randy, can
I'll
you be
be
here? 5, okay, y'all have a quorum.
Second, did you second over?
Will you amend your motion?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I will amend my motion to have a meeting on March the 25th at 7 o'clock.
Second.
Can we do it at 6?
Can't do a council meeting at 6.
If the
If you
council
vote
votes
to,
to have it at
you
6, you can.
According to the resolution.
Let's do it at 6.
I'll amend my motion again.
You're an amender.
Okay, there's a motion on the table to table the financials, have a meeting at 6 o'clock on Tuesday the 25th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And I'll appoint Heather to preside over that meeting as I will be out of town.
And just as a point of order, you might want to let the newspaper know that that'll be forthcoming that next day, hopefully. So they know it's coming.
Okay. Esther, thank you. so much. I know how hard you worked on this, we all appreciate it. Appreciate your efforts very much.
It should be-
I do want to make, for
I want to
the
tell
record,
her
I
one
want
thing.
to, excuse me, for the record, I do want to state that there was a question, one of the council members asked about a CPA had looked at this, and I just want to I don't know if all of y'all were here that night, but I did ask for authority to contract with the CPA to help the finance department, and that was, it was indicated very strongly by the council members present at that meeting that they wanted to hire an in-house finance director, which is fine, we'll go that route, but I just wanted to disclose that we've tried to reach out and have that done, but that.
I think that's
My
what the
thought was
finance
to have one
director,
just
Finance
to-
director's
just
position.
to look at it.
Right.
yeah, that's for the finance director's position that we went with in-house and not
I
contracted.
understand.
I think, Steve was talking about having someone, a private firm, look over this after it's finished. Is that what you were talking about?
Because we don't have that figure in-house right now.
Right.
So
I think that would be a good idea.
It would make me feel better if we would
And
have.
that's perfect, I agree with that
expertise on
completely.
this.
Can, my Esther be excused?
I have another item on the agenda.
Okay,
Maybe we fix the agenda so she can
Yes.
send it, so she can go home.
yes.
I wanted to tell Esther one other thing on the 2014 budget that you bound and gave to us, and you put the comments in there. I really appreciate that because I had asked for that, and I appreciate you putting it in there. I think it's very helpful.
She's got 2 special fans in the back waiting for her to get done so she can take them home.
So we're gonna move to new business, item number 1. Approval of a resolution amending the 2014 general and other budgets. This was recommended by finance and personnel, and you can see the departments in effect and the net change to each one of their budgets. Is there a motion to approve following the recommendation by finance and personnel?
There's some, everything on the resolution, like the sales tax instead of Fund 45. On the park,
No, this is an amendment to the 2014 budget.
the resolution. Right, that's what I'm talking about. On the parks, is that coming out of the 1/8 sales tax,
Yes.
Fund 45?
Yes, as we discussed, finance and personnel, it will be coming from 1/8.
Can we add Fund 45 on there, as well as the animal donations out of Fund 20? The 833 expense is Fund 51.
On the account numbers, the first 3 digits specify which fund it is. So in park, where it says 045, that is specifying Park 1/8. And on animal control, it is specifying